Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we have some breaking news on the Ripple v SEC lawsuit. Ripple just came back with a reply to some ridiculous request that the SEC proposed. And so today we're going to talk about that and everything that you need to know for right now. However, first of all, put in the comment section down below if you still think that Ripple will win. No, scratch that. Do you actually think that Ripple will win this? To be honest with you, I think so, and most people I speak to think so, but there's been some really big issues between me and some more Bitcoin maximalists I've spoken to in real life. These guys are big crypto YouTubers, but they were really sure that Ripple was going to lose everything, that it's a scam coin and whatnot. And I do wonder from you guys, let's put the scam coin thing aside. Do you think that Ripple is guilty or not guilty, and will they win? All right. Ripple has filed its opposition to the SEC's motion to compel Ripple to search for and produce relevant Slack communications. Long story short, Ripple saw what the SEC proposed, which had to do with Slack communications that Ripple did. They saw it. They were like, you know what? Screw this. They went full force to slam him into the ground because basically the SEC has been requesting such an exorbitant amount of messages that Ripple is not really taking it too serious. So Ripple says that after reviewing more than 1 million Slack messages, it would require a significant alternation to the current schedule because, well, they got to read every single part of this and it might take another couple of weeks. And mind you guys, that this can take hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the SEC basically explained that Ripple can spare the expense. Wouldn't be too difficult for them, but it would take, here, company's e-discovery vendor estimates that it would take up to 15 weeks to only retrieve the messages. In addition, Ripple will also have to review them. So it's interesting. Now, here's the official response. You can see here, it's written in an easier format, but it's still pretty interesting. Ripple's extensive Slack collection and production to date, where they basically explain that they've already given the SEC quite a significant number of messages. Quote, Ripple's eventual collection, completed after this litigation commenced, was extensive, amounting to all private channel messages from 33 custodians, totaling over 115,000 Slack documents. Since each Slack document represented a compilation of multiple messages, Ripple collected well over 150,000 messages. Once discovery began and the SEC requested Slack data in request for production, Ripple began to review the Slack data. At the time, the volume of responsive Slack data appeared reasonable. After applying deduplication on that initial collection of over 115,000 documents and running search terms, Ripple reviewed 7,000 Slack documents for responsiveness and produced a total of 1,468 Slack documents to the SEC. Which means that less than 2% of the Slack documents collected and processed by Ripple proved to be responsive to the SEC's RFP, or basically their request for production. This low responsiveness rate belies the SEC's contention that Slack data is rich repository of uniquely relevant data. So they're basically saying, well, you don't even need what we are supposedly having to give to you. It's years of data, but it's not really that significant. Inadvertent vendor error and Ripple's immediate steps to collect and produce additional Slack data. So here they're explaining that there was an error indeed in Ripple side of things because, well, even though they're supposed to produce even more data and check it all, something went wrong in there. Although Ripple's collection of Slack data is significant, Ripple's e-discovery vendor inadvertently failed to collect Slack DMs and MPIMs. This mistake was not discovered until July 25th, 2021. And as soon as the error was discovered, Ripple promptly began to collect previously uncollected DMs and MPIMs for the individual defendants and all of the other custodians whose depositions were upcoming. Antoinette O'Gorman, Ron Will, and Ethan Beard. By the way, guys, I told you already. Did you know that Ripple members in all have all been deposed already? They've all been questioned. I didn't even know that, which really shocked me the first time I read it. And has already completed its production of responsive DMs, and MPIMs for the individual defendants sufficiently in advance of their upcoming depositions. As expected, the responsiveness rate of the individual defendants' DMs and MPIMs was broadly consistent with the low responsiveness rate of previously produced Slack data, further undermining the SEC's contention that Slack data is a repository of uniquely relevant communications. In other words, despite making much ado about the need for DMs and MPAMs from the individual defendants. Only 117 documents were responsive to the SEC's RFP, so their request for specific data. Point being, it really isn't that significant, the data that they have, so why all this trouble to look through it all? Now here, by the way, it says something interesting. You're seeing all these names from Ripple employees, right? The custodians are head of product, yada, yada, yada. So there are all these people that work at Ripple. Now, Ripple has already collected the supplemental Slack data for these proposed custodians, all of those names, even David Schwartz. And once the collection is complete and the search terms run, Ripple is poised to begin reviewing them in an unexpedited manner. Although these custodians sent over 500,000 Slack messages during the relevant period, some of which, of course, were already produced pursuant to Ripple's collection and production of responsive private data channel or channel data, this is going to be so much work for them that I kind of feel bad. I kind of do. Because they also already, it says here, right? Ripple also offered to produce additional Slack DMs for 7 of them. But they don't just want to do it for like 26 or so because it's, again, so much stuff. The SEC's overbroad request is extraordinarily burdensome and highly disproportionate because, once more, guys, we're talking so many freaking messages, it is nearly impossible right here. It says, where was it now? I think somewhere down here. All right, there we go. The SEC has already reaped extensive discovery from its voluminous, wide-ranging requests for documents, information, and testimony, having issued no less than 126 RFPs to Ripple and 56 third-party subpoenas. So they asked 56 third parties on info about Ripple. On the heels of 2.5-year investigation during which Ripple and numerous third parties produced thousands of documents. In responding to the SEC's blizzard of discovery, Ripple collected over 11 million documents, representing nearly 10 terabytes of data, reviewed over 300,000 documents for responsiveness, and produced over 165,000 documents. The SEC has also obtained over 240,000 documents from third parties. The SEC's demand is all the more unreasonable when considered against this backdrop. Simply put, the SEC is not entitled, under Rule 26, to seek discovery of every single document potentially relevant to their claims or defenses. What that one is about is that just because you think something might be relevant, you can't really get access to it. It is only if you are almost known for sure that there is data in there which is relevant, that you can get it, if you know what I mean right there. So if you're thinking, hey, we just want that info because maybe there's something we find significant, you can't get it. If you know there's info in there that that you can use, but you don't know if actually will work, but you know it is relevant at least, and you know what I mean. So you will find the info that you need. However, you don't know if it's going to be effective. Yet it's not that you are just going to look through huge amounts of info, and you might find something that you can use. That's different. Third, Ripple's e-discovery vendor estimates it will likely take between 12 and 15 weeks to collect and process the additional data sought by the SEC, which does not even factor in the time it would take to review the Slack messages for responsiveness and privilege. Granted, the SEC's request would therefore require a significant alteration of the current scheduling order. There comes a point in time when better is the enemy of the good. Because in that case, discovery cannot continue forever. Because this would be a big alteration of another 4 months, 5, 6, 7 months. That would be bad. And the demanded slide documents are neither critical nor uniquely relevant because, to be honest with you, Ripple keeps saying there's not really anything in there that's going to be so significant because everything that you wanted to have, we already gave you. For example, there's little merit to the claim that these Slack messages will help refresh recollections of witnesses during depositions because, well, a couple of times we've seen before that it's not really that relevant to it all. And that was the letter. All right. I really enjoyed this. Part of it was also having to do with the seal. Here it said Ripple filed a motion to seal exhibits attached to the SEC's motion regarding Slack communications and to seal exhibits attached to Ripple's opposition to the SEC's motion. Pooh, that's a mouthful. The SEC, the parties currently do not agree on what should be sealed, and what that refers to, you don't need to read this, it doesn't really matter too much, is Ripple wants to seal some stuff, basically not make it public. The SEC wants to make other stuff public, doesn't want to make some stuff public, and right now they're not sure as to what exactly should not be shown. You can read here exhibits B, C, D, F, G, and E, exactly what they entail, but once more, I don't really care, to be completely honest with you. They might or might not disagree. Who gives a crap, right? If they want to hide some documents, do that. I just wonder when it comes out eventually, what we will see. Some guy here said, thanks. At the end, I suspect Ripple will lose. They knew and had fair notice. It's only because the SEC is so inept, Ripple have a chance. I like that. I really do like that. Some people think about it that way. No, but you guys hopefully got this picture here. Sealing is just basically wanting to hide documents from the world. And guys, make sure you check out Bybit. A link is down below. If you are into trading, if you are into XRP, if you're into whatever, futures or just basically trading with more money than you actually have. That's basically the premise of it. Make sure you check it out. There's $1,600 worth of bonuses that you can still get only for today. It's only a couple more hours, so make sure you check it out. And also, I had something else open. Realistically speaking, XP will reach $3 to $5. That is what our next video is going to be about, plus, of course, a whole lot more. And again, like we said before, this move by the SEC is so ridiculously burdensome, I don't think it's going to work out for them. It is too much to do. It is too much. John Deaton also said, it should be noted by the fintech community that after a 2.5-year investigation and receiving over 1 million pages of discovery and documents, the SEC has failed to charge Ripple, Brett Garlinghouse, Chris Larson with one instance of fraud or misrepresentation, because right now, to be honest with you, it's a pretty weak allegation that they were just doing something in some way that's not completely moral, yet it's not fraud, whatever, guys. That was it for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something new, and I'm going to go get some food if you're wondering.